Well, it's time to discuss one of the most popular succulents, the jade plant. Let's talk about Crassula. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan Bain and this is Bain's Botanicals. Today we're going to be discussing Crassula. This particular Crassula is not the most common one. The most common one is the Crassula ovata, which is kind of the very verdant green, much smaller leaves than this. These are actually pretty big leaves if you kind of compare it to my fingertips here. This is actually a silver dollar jade, which is a Crassula arborescens, I believe. Did I write that down? I did, arborescens. I just like this one. I kind of like the color of it. If you notice, it's kind of like a white green color and it's got these pink edges. I just think that's really interesting. I've had Crassula ovatas in the past. I just don't have one now. I'm trying to limit myself to one species per genus. Of course, that kind of goes out the window when you're talking about philodendrons because there's so many cool philodendrons. But yes, this is my representation of the genus Crassula. It's part of the family Crassulaceae, which also has other famous succulents in it like Echeveria, sempervivum. There's another big one, I can't remember it. Here is the taxonomy information for Crassula. As far as care goes, they're just like any other succulent. They're pretty easy to care for when you kind of figure it out. Light, bright indirect light, no direct sun, but they are not low light plants. If they don't get enough light, or if they're not getting the appropriate amount of water, you'll probably see some leaf drop. But as far as water goes, just water them after they dry out. So definitely let them dry out, but you don't want to leave them dried out for too long like you would a cactus because they just don't retain as much moisture. You want to go ahead and water them after they're completely dry. Soil, just cacti succulent soil, anything that's really well draining, does not retain moisture at all because you don't want to get root rot. Humidity, doesn't need it because it's a succulent. And then fertilizing, I just fertilize it kind of not as much as I would a tropical. So let's say I dilute my liquid fertilizer by half for my tropicals, because you're supposed to dilute it a little bit. I would probably dilute it by a quarter, or would it be 75%? I think it's 75% for my succulents, just because succulents grow slower, so they don't need as much fertilizer, but they do still need some. Was that really it about jade? Jade plants, I haven't seen one like this get really super big. I know they do, but the common jade plant gets really full and bushy when it gets big. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one in person, but I've actually gone up and like touched one, and it's really interesting because they do get the secondary growth, which is like the woodiness like in the stems. And when you touch them, they just sort of like wobble. It's really weird because they're full of water. I mean, they are succulents. I feel like they would be really fragile. Like I would never want to drop it because it would probably break. But yeah, really cool plants. There are a variety of different Crassulas. There is there's an ogre ear one that's pretty cool. It's got like kind of tubular looking leaves that have the little, just think of Shrek, like it kind of looks like his ears. Trying to think of some other Crassulas. There's some that just have really flat leaves. I can't remember what they're called, but it's just, there's a flavor for everybody. Definitely get yourself a Crassula if you don't have one and you're kind of scared of succulents because they're pretty easygoing. And you can find them pretty much anywhere. I think that's all I had about Crassula. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'm going to get some more videos out to you guys. Thank you so much for your support and for all of your great informative comments. I'm really enjoying interacting with you guys, and I look forward to doing more of it. So until the next video, I will see you guys around, and thank you.